What do you think worldwide in terms of EV sales growth for 2025? Going to be a good year?
Now, what are the catalysts moving forward for Tesla, Jenny?
Through late December, Tesla has had over 15 recalls affecting over 5 million vehicles in 2024.
All that and more. So let's get to it. As we approach the final trading day of 2024, TSLA is up in the pre-market almost 2%, currently sitting at $425.25. For the week, Tesla stock is down almost 2%. So much for the Santa Claus rally. Up almost 20% for the month of December, however. And year-to-date, Tesla stock is up over 70% and threatening to climb higher. As we close out 2024, what is in store for not only Tesla, but the EV industry as a whole?
I guess let's just start off. What do you think worldwide in terms of EV sales growth for 2025? Going to be a good year?
Well, I think you're going to see continued growth, but as you saw this year, David, it's going to depend on the region. In China, we should see in 2025 actually the EV market outsell conventional engines for the first time.
What? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, China is only a harbinger of things to come for the rest of the world. Europe and America will follow suit. Hell, some places in these regions are doing much better than everybody else. It's only a matter of time before the rest of the regions of the world look much like China. Not only are EVs a better option for consumers, those legacy auto manufacturers, they seem to be having a little bit of trouble competing in this space.
And actually, in the second half of this year, you've seen literally each month EVs take more of a share than internal combustion engines. So I think you're going to continue to see good growth in China. And probably at the end of the day, when we wrap up 2025, I'd say the Chinese market would be anywhere between like 55 and 60%.
Let's talk for a minute about the German automakers, because they're such an important component of that economy overall, and they are really suffering, whether it's Volkswagen, which had layoffs for the first time, obviously selling into the domestic Chinese market, not nearly what it once was, and they're competing with these EV makers from China around the world as well, aren't they? What do you think is going to happen in 2025?
Well, I think you're exactly right, David. There's a lot of pressure on the German automakers, and some of it is industry-wide, but some of it is self-inflicted wounds. On the industry-wide part of it, you have a lot of the German manufacturers who their biggest markets, like BMW, Mercedes, et cetera, literally is the Chinese market, and you're seeing the Chinese market, their market share taking a beating there, as you see not only new models coming out from the Chinese OEMs, but you see a shift in preferences from the customers from Western brands to local domestic ones.
That's not good. I hope the other problem that they have is something under their control.
So they're under pressure there. That's putting pressure on their profits. Obviously back in Europe, the Euro market is, not growing significantly. And here in the U.S., you have the potential for tariffs. So tough situation for the German manufacturers. And then, you have some unique ones like VW. They have a very high cost base. They have overcapacity, too many workers. And you see some announcements coming out of there where they're trying to reduce their costs. So it'll be a continued tough year for particularly the German automakers, which ultimately is going to impact the German economy.
Oh boy. Let's hope that it's not all bad, right? But Germany's not the only country that's going to be faced with these issues. Japan
as well, of course, with the Nissan-Honda potential merger in the forefront.
I don't think you're going to see a huge rush towards consolidation. I think you'll see more continued partnerships. And in the case of Honda and Nissan, listen, this is a bit of a shotgun marriage, right? You have Nissan, who has a lot of financial problems, a lot of sales problems that they have to work their way through. And we'll see if the combination occurs by mid next year. But, it's going to be a challenge.
And yes, you guessed it, even the legacy auto manufacturers here in the United States are going to experience a bit of turbulence in the years ahead.
Starting off with one of our favorite names to discuss here on the network, a frequent flyer, if you will, that's Tesla, which is now up 22% still for the month of December. But I will say, seeing some weakness to start off this week now has pulled back about 13.5%, 14% almost actually from its highs of the year. So I know this was a post-Trump election winner. We're starting to see some of this easing, though, as I think historically right now volumes are light. We're just not seeing a lot of interest flow into Tesla.
There's a lot of volumes, but there's less interest because it's not going up as much as it was.
Right.
I think
my bias is getting in the way there.
You and me both, Jenny. You and me both.
Right. I mean, with the stock up nearly 70% this year, as you mentioned, 22% just this month. Remember, that's after gains of about 38% that we saw in the month of November on the back of that Trump win. All the expectations are that regulations for, Musk and Tesla with their cyber taxi, cyber cab, that's supposed to roll out sometime later in 2025, maybe into 2026. So expectations are high, but you see the parabolic move that we saw the last couple of months here. Now the stock's down over $65 from those all-time highs of about 488 that we hit earlier this month. So it has pulled back some. Now, what are the catalysts moving forward for Tesla, Jenny? Is, well, one's January 2nd. We're going to have Q4 reporting on deliveries. Expectations around the consensus about 512,000 vehicles at this point. Some people are still saying, that this could come in a little bit lighter as the EV trades kind of taking a break here. It's going to probably be in line with deliveries of last year, which was 1.8 million. So this is going to be a big catalyst on January 2nd. UBS did come out with a note over the weekend on Tesla. They've still got a sell rating, $226 price target. Their expectations are for about 510,000 deliveries announced on the 2nd of January.
Me? I've got a plump little delivery number. 525,420 vehicles delivered for Tesla. Now, will they achieve that? Probably not. But my guess is it's going to be higher than the street estimate, signaling to the rest of the automotive industry that Tesla has returned to growth. And you ain't seen nothing yet.
So lots going on here. They report earnings on the 21st also, or 29th, I believe. Also, so there's going to be some more catalyst moving into the end of January on the earnings data that we get also.
January is going to be a pretty busy month for TSLA. Delivery numbers, Trump inauguration, earnings. But it's not all sunshine and lollipops. What would a video be without a little bit of FUD involved?
Tesla also closed down over 3% after the EV maker recalled nearly 700,000 vehicles to correct a potential error with the warning light of the tire pressure monitoring system.
Oh no! The monitoring system! 700,000 of these vehicles! Whatever will the Tesla service center do?
Tesla said it would be issuing a free software update to fix the problem.
Oh. That was a bit anticlimactic, wasn't it?
Through late December, Tesla has had over 15 recalls affecting over 5 million vehicles in 2024.
Listen, every time one of these recalls come out, I'll get a text from a family member or some friend asking me whether or not I've heard about the recall. Is my vehicle still safe? 9 times out of 10, by the time we hear it on the news, my vehicle's already been fixed, ladies and gentlemen. Out of all of the labeled recalls that Tesla has had for 2024, for me, all of them were fixed with a software update. I believe the Cybertruck had some physical recalls, but your boy doesn't own one of those. Long story short, a Tesla recall is much different than any other auto manufacturer in the business. In conclusion, as EVs begin to outpace traditional internal combustion engines globally, let's just say that's a bad omen for all of the legacy auto manufacturers. It's only a matter of time before EVs become the more dominant form of transportation, foreign and domestic. I wonder who stands to benefit the most when that happens. I fully expect Tesla's dominance to continue in 2025 as their return to vehicle growth will be signified by this record Q4 delivery number. On top of that, we will see an unsupervised version of FSD that will transfer over to their ride-hail business, setting up a volleyball spike when the Cybercab gets ramped up into production early 2026. Legacy auto manufacturers already find themselves between a rock and a hard place. Unsupervised FSD, that'll be the catalyst that puts them all to bed. That's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.